My name is Dave Etler, and I am here at the Mesa Gallery to display my artwork. It has a long and varied history of how I started this. I started out as a kid, always drawing, and then I got into paints, pastels, pen and ink, wood carving, and anything like that. I grew up in a college community where there were a lot of artists and craftsmen there. And one of my father's best friend was a man named Leonard Baskin, who did a lot of line drawing, pen and ink, but all kinds of media, etching, stuff like that. So I used to sit in his studio and watch him do that and kind of clean up the dust and things as it happened. Then I went to school. After I graduated from high school, I really didn't feel like going to college. I worked for a couple of years, and then I got my draft notice, and I decided to join rather than be drafted. I went into the Green Beret Special Forces and was a medic there after about a year and a half of training. At the time, I had no inkling of anything doing with artwork. I was trying to keep my head down and do what I had to do. But I had a camera with me all the time, and I used to take the situation reports with the camera, and I had a lot of pictures that I started doing some drawing from. And I have miles and miles of film and gigabytes and gigabytes of film to use for modeling. And I use the pictures that I've taken over the years in my travels to do all the pictures that I finally do in the pen and ink. For example, the tiger over there, I met one in Vietnam, and I ran from him and he ran from me, but I never forgot his face. And I always wanted to do that. The one thing I haven't done much is any pictures from Vietnam. Someday I will. When I retired, I found myself with a lot of time to do the things that I really wanted to do. And one of them is traveling, one of them is photography, but the other one is doing my artwork. I did carving of birds, did pastels, but I started doing pen and ink, and I really fell in love with the process and the detail I could do and what I could do with them. And I haven't done anything else since. I have a shredder that I used occasionally because ink is permanent and there's no erasers involved. If you do a line that you don't want, you can hide it or shred it. Makes it kind of simple. With the advent of really good colored ink, I started putting more color into the pen and ink, and then finally doing color for the whole composition that I did. Some of the compositions I did just one or two colors, but really enjoyed it, and I haven't been able to stop. I've never had anything not to do. I'm not bored. I never have been bored since my retirement, and I will always have something to do. I've had a one-man show at Falmouth Hospital several years ago, and then I've been in various shows at the Artists Guild until this time. And the art that's up here represents probably some of the beginning of my artwork with pen and ink up until now. With this showing, I certainly hope that people will come in and see it and take a look at what people can do around town and what I can do. And I hope it's a pleasurable experience.